If you are a Celtics fan, you have come to the right place. We are providing the best Celtics coverage on YouTube. Go down, subscribe to the channel right now. Welcome into Celtics Today. I am Will Scott here with the latest Boston Celtics news and rumors. Certainly a lot to discuss. A very interesting rumor that we heard earlier from Brian Windhorst of ESPN. Here's what he said this morning. The question is, who does this team, the Celtics, need to go out and get? Another big man who can defend? The name that has come up, as people have speculated, is Jakob Poeltl from the Spurs. Boston did a deal with the Spurs last year for Derrick White. Could they do another for Jakob Poeltl? So before I get into more, I want to know, do you want to trade for Jakob Poeltl? Type T for trade or type P for pass down in the comment section. We've talked about him as a potential trade target before. However, this is the first time that he has been seriously linked to the C's. Please, 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 please trade for Jakob Poeltl. This would be fantastic if you got a guy like this in Boston. He is a hell of a player. Here is what he's done this season with the Spurs. He is averaging a double-double, 13.4 points per game, 10.1 rebounds per game, nearly 4 assists per game, and he's shooting 65.9% from the floor. And it's no secret that Boston needs some front court depth. You have to add some depth down low. Poeltl would make a lot of sense for this basketball team right now. Windhorst continued saying this: the Spurs may want to keep Jakob Poeltl, but they were unable to extend him. They tried to extend him before the season, so he will become an unrestricted free agent. They have the lowest payroll in the league, and maybe they will pay him at the end of the season. So the Spurs right now are tanking. They might trade Doug McDermott. Jakob Poeltl is another guy that has come up in trade rumors, and now he has been linked to the Boston Celtics. So let's talk about some trade pros and cons here. The clear pros, he's a great player. I mean, probably the most underrated center in the league, if we're being honest. He is fantastic. And you need a big man. You don't really have a true backup center right now on the roster, so getting a big man via trade might make some sense. But you have Robert Williams coming back after the new year. And, we're already 14 games into the season. It's kind of been flying by. Right now we're in mid-November. Williams could be back in the next 5 or 6 weeks. So that's something to note here. And then he's going to be an unrestricted free agent at the end of the season. So you might trade for him just to have him play half the season and then lose him after the end of the season. So we'll see what goes down, but I'm excited to see a guy like Brian Windhorst, who's obviously very much in the know. Remember what's going on in Utah. He was on top of it. They trade Gobert. They trade Mitch. So now he's saying that the Celtics might have some interest in Jakob Poeltl, that is a name he's hearing that the Celtics might be interested in. Want to shout out Established Titles. Thanks to them for sponsoring today's show. Established Titles is a fun and novel way to preserve the natural woodlands of Scotland while helping global reforestation efforts. It is a project based on a historic Scottish custom where landowners are referred to as lairds or lords and ladies in English. Title packs give you at least 1 square foot of dedicated land with a unique plot number on a private estate in Eddleston, Scotland. We're flying over my land as we speak. They plant a tree with every order and work with global charities such as One Tree Planted and Trees for the Future to support global reforestation efforts. You could officially include the title Lord or Lady on your credit card, plane tickets, dating profiles. It makes for a great last-minute gift. I'm Lord William Scott. That is really cool. And the first 200 people purchasing a title pack using my link will effectively be right next to my plot, so we can build a Celtics kingdom over there in Scotland. That's the link right there, establishedtitles.com/chat. Right now, they have a massive early Black Friday deal. Discounts up to 80% off. Plus, if you go to that link and use promo code chat, you can save an extra 10% on the perfect holiday gift. Let's talk about Peyton Pritchard, because when you're talking about who could the Celtics move here to get a big name like Poeltl, I hate to say it, it might be Peyton Pritchard, because he just hasn't gotten that involved, and he's a pretty solid, young player. I would say don't trade him, though. Instead, get him more involved. Coming into the game tonight against Atlanta, we'll talk about that game in a second. He's only averaging 10.5 minutes per game. So when he's been on the floor, he's been great. The problem is he just hasn't really been getting on the floor. He's low-key like the Celtics' fourth-string point guard. So I want to see Pritch get more involved, but I want to hear from y'all. Do you think he gets traded? Type Y for yes or type in for no down in the comment section. I mean, look, Brad Stevens is an OG, but I even find it hard to believe he's going to trade for a guy like Poeltl without having to include Peyton Pritchard in that deal. But here's what Pritch did in the last game against the Thunder, that come from behind epic win. 10 points. He was 4 of 8 shooting, 4 rebounds, also 2 of 3 from three-point range. Really provided a spark off the bench for the Celtics en route to that comeback win. And the Celtics are hot. Oh, my gosh. 7 straight wins. Best record in the NBA at 11-3. The C's are on fire. Take a look at what they did on Monday against Oklahoma City. So many different guys getting involved. 6 Celtics in double figures. Talk about a team that is playing team basketball. Tatum went for 27. Brown went for 26. Smart went for 22. Derrick White had 16. Al had 12. Pritchard had 10 off the bench for the Celtics. He got more involved with Malcolm Brogdon out, who is questionable for tonight in Atlanta. Here is what the Celtics tweeted yesterday about the injury report. Brogdon dealing with some right hamstring tightness. He did not play against OKC. He is questionable tonight. Danilo Gallinari, he's obviously out. He tore his ACL. He's probably not coming back this year. Marcus Smart is probable, which is good. I don't want to see a world where Smart and Brogdon both can't play. And then Robert Williams, obviously, still working his way back from that left knee surgery. He's going to be out until after Christmas. Here's what to watch for tonight. Can Tatum stay hot, even against a good team like Atlanta? Can he keep this hot streak going? He has been sensational this season for the Celtics. Taking a look at the numbers, 31.9 points per game, 3.9 assists per game, 7.5 rebounds per game, shooting nearly 50% from the floor. So can he keep that up tonight in Atlanta? We'll have to wait and see. And if Malcolm Brogdon's still going to be out, is Peyton Pritchard going to get more involved? We saw him get more involved in the last game against OKC. If Brogdon doesn't play, I expect Pritchard to have more of a role. But even if Brogdon does play, I want Pritch to get some more minutes tonight. And then the Hawks backcourt, I mean, it's going to be tough to defend them. It's going to be really, really tough. They score the basketball. They shoot pretty well. So we'll see what happens there. Guys, who do you got tonight? Do you have the C's or do you have the Hawks? Type BOS or type ATL down in the comment section. I think it's going to be a close game for a while, but the Celtics ultimately get the job done. I'm going to take the C's by 7, 129-122 in Atlanta. Let's close today's show talking about some news on Grant Williams. We have heard an update in terms of what went down before the season when he was negotiating a long-term deal. Michael Scotto reported that Grant was never offered anything north of $50 million guaranteed over 4 years. Here is what he said in the article for Hoops Hype. During extension talks with Grant Williams, the Celtics never offered more than $50 million guaranteed over 4 years, league sources told Hoops Hype. As I previously reported, Williams would have taken a deal for $14 million annually. So far, he's on pace to garner more than that offer in restricted free agency, thanks to a torrid start to the season, shooting over 60% from the field and making 50% of his three-pointers. There are some around the league that believe an offer around $18 million annually could be too much for Boston to match in restricted free agency. Of course, anything in the non-taxpayer mid-level exception range would likely be matched by Boston. So we're hearing $18 million potentially. How much is Grant Williams worth per year? Go down in the comments section. Let me know how much is he worth per year. My prediction is he's going to get a deal a little bit north of $15 million. Hopefully the Celtics match it. Guys, go down and subscribe if you love the Celtics. We're bringing you Celtics content whenever Celtics news or Celtics rumors come out. We get you guys a bit.